Hey, everybody, happy Monday to you. Welcome back to another Monday Motivation podcast for Monday, June 10th, 2019. As always, we hope you had a great weekend and hope you're ready to get this week started off on the right foot, get some inspiration going, and move things in the right direction as we're always trying to do. So last week we started our talk on Deep Work by Cal Newport, and I wanted to continue that discussion because I really feel like it's one of the most important topics to getting stuff done, not only in your life as a musician, but also in your life as a productive human being. Could be anything, any task that you're trying to complete and complete quickly and complete with a lot of quality. These techniques that we're discussing can really go a long way. So last week we kind of talked about distractions. Our modern world is just filled with distractions, and what they do is they stop us from doing the deepest work that we can because we're constantly being interrupted. So I wanted to continue that discussion a little bit, tell you about a personal experience that I've had over the past couple weeks after reading this book, and tell you how it's benefited me and how I think it could benefit you as well. So we talked about getting rid of all the distractions in the practice room, like, leaving your phone in a different room, not having your email up, not being reachable by anybody so that you have a chance to really focus on the task at hand and nothing is going to interrupt that concentration on what you're working on and force your mind to go in another direction, because what that does is it really breaks all the momentum that we've built up to that point. And it could be the smallest little thing that could distract you, like just an email popping up. Even if you don't read it, it temporarily takes your mind out of the groove that it's in, the flow state that it's in, and puts it somewhere else. And then you have to start that whole process over again of getting back into that mental state. So here's one of the benefits, and here's an experiment that I've been doing that has been working out really well for me. So what I've done over the past 3 weeks now, I think it's 3 weeks, is I have actually capped my practice time at 2 hours a day. And that's, pretty brand new for me. Normally I practice like 3 to 4 hours a day, but I wanted to try this as an experiment and see if it would work. So basically I capped myself at 2 hours a day, but the 2 hours that I'm practicing are completely 100% free of distraction. Meaning that, let me tell you a couple of the ways that I do this in my most common distractions. So my first most common distraction is the phone. If I have the phone even in the same room as me, it's going to distract me. Meaning that even if the phone's on the other side of the room, if I can actually hear it vibrate from a notification, my brain will immediately get distracted and I'll start thinking, even though I don't want to, I'll start thinking, who was that? Was that a text? Was that an email? Is it urgent? Is it something that I need to get back to right away? Boom, I'm out of my, state of concentration that I was previously in. So now what I do is actually leave the phone in a different room so that it's not going to be a distraction whatsoever, right? It might as well not even exist at that point because it's just away from me. Now, the second thing is I practice in the same room that I do these podcasts, the same room that I write my emails, the same room that I do all my online stuff. And I do use a lot of online practice tools like drones and play-alongs and all that kind of stuff. But what I've done is I've closed out every other tab in my browser beside the one that I'm using for the play-along or drone. So it might be just one single YouTube window open with drones playing behind me or something like that. Now, the thing about that there is that when I look at my computer, I don't even see anything that can distract me whatsoever. The only thing that's open is whatever I'm using to help me get into my deep work, my deep practice routine. So with these two things, basically, it is impossible for me to get distracted. It is literally just me, my saxophone, my metronome, and whatever tool I'm using online, and there's nothing else for my attention to get diverted toward. So it forces me to kind of get into that zone, and that's what I'm looking for. So I've just eliminated all possibilities of anything else popping up. The only thing that might distract me is my dog's barking at somebody walking by the house, but that happens all the time, so it doesn't really distract me at this point. So there's literally nothing. I'm removing all other inputs besides my instrument, my brain, and whatever practice tool I'm using at the moment. And since I have limited myself to the 2 hours a day, what I've realized is that when I give myself like a 4-hour block of time, maybe a third of that time is actually dedicated to being distracted. So in a 4-hour block of time, really I'm only using 3 hours of that time. The rest of it is dealing with those distractions. And I would say another quarter of that time is spent trying to get back into my deep work state, trying to get my brain to recover from those distractions that I was telling you about. So now what I've done is I've basically given myself no excuse. It's really hard for me to get through my practice routine in 2 hours. So if I'm going to get everything done that I want to get done in that 2 hours, it requires total and complete concentration, a total and complete dedication to getting the task done. And what I found is now I can actually fit it in those 2 hours, and I am tired when I get done with those 2 hours of practicing, like really tired. And it's because I've been at, full 100% concentration level throughout those 2 hours, which is really tiring. But this is amazing. It has freed up about 2 hours of my day to do other things, to take care of other tasks. And that's just wonderful for me. So I feel like I'm getting the same benefit, if not more, out of what previously took me 4 hours, but now I'm fitting it into 2 hours. And that's just wonderful for my entire life to get those 2 hours back. Now, I may extend it in the future to like 3 hours, but I'm going to keep the intensity on high. So that now if I do add an extra hour, that extra hour is going to be all business, and I'm going to be getting a ton of benefit out of that third hour. So it might not be 2 hours forever, but right now 2 hours is really, really working for me. And I think you should think about this. So by removing distractions, I'm getting twice the amount of work done in half the time. It really does feel like that. And I'm starting to carry this over into other parts of my life, and I'll tell you, this is like the ultimate productivity hack. Just getting into it deeply and eliminating those distractions. The elimination of the distractions is really the part that matters. It doesn't really matter how long you're spending on a specific task, but you will free up so much of your life if you can really do deep work, and you'll see better results. So I want you to try that this week. I want you to see if you can separate yourself from your phone and shut down your browser and only use the tools that you absolutely need to use to get stuff done. And just let me know what the results are, because I really think that this will benefit you fantastically. I know it has for me. All right, so get into it this week, get some stuff done, get that deep work going, get your brain into that most concentrated state that it can possibly be in, and then be very happy with the results. All right, everybody, we'll talk to you on Friday with a regular episode. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.